Our subject matter today is assessing President Tinubu's stewardship so far. Interestingly, this is coming on the heels of his recent outing to the United Nations General Assembly. But there are a number of other indices that we can look at, ranges from the economy to diplomacy, especially, against the backdrop of his election as the president of ECOWAS in July 2023. Maybe, yeah, all of that, wooing Nigerians in diaspora, especially in America, where he's just coming back from, wooing them back home, policies, and give me your overview of the president's stewardship so far, how you would score it, how you would judge it.
Thank you for having me once again in your program. Well, the ideal way to assess and analyze or appraise the achievement of President Tinubu is to, first of all, study what he has promised to do and put it in line with what he has been able to achieve, and also take cognizance of the time. If I may not be wrong, I have read somewhere that he has unfolded a 10-point agenda as a policy direction yes. of his administration. Yes. And in that 10-point agenda, he has touched on almost all areas of development and progress which every country needs. If I can go through them from my own little understanding. He said he is going to address the issue of jobs creation. And secondly, he made reference to manufacture and industry. Thirdly, he made reference to digital economy. Fourthly, he also touched on agriculture. And there is health and education, which he all puts them under one stanza. And then he made reference to export of goods, more exports than emphasized on exports than on import. And then he also harped on modernizing our infrastructure. And then he also touched on security of the country, and also giving poor people the empowerment and the economic opportunity they need. And if I may not be wrong, these are the issues which he has emphasized
Indeed.
in his 10-point agenda.
You pretty much captured it all.
And secondly, now you assess what he has been able to achieve. Well, it is not fair within 100 days perhaps to see that you expect him to have achieved all the 10 points agenda. But now it's also good to assess areas which he has been able to achieve and those whom he has not been able to perform very well. In the areas which he has been able to make progress is the fact that his government has been able to take bold decisions that was much impossible for previous administration in the last 4 decades to take, and that is the removal of subsidy. I have always been an advocate of subsidy for the fact that it's the only way which the poor can benefit, and also the only way in which the ordinary persons can have some form of relief as far as the cost of living is concerned. But it became necessary for some of us to change our views over the fact that this subsidy matter, we're trying to see how we can find a different way of addressing it, because under the Babangida administration, it was in millions, then it moved to billions, then hundreds of billions, and at a time under Buhari administration, it reached to trillions, and then we were then borrowing money to pay subsidy. So there are a second school of thought that prefer that if we can get our refineries functioning, and then swap from petrol to gas, at least these subsidy issues will be addressed in a different way. And then our economy also couldn't sustain it, and the fact that we keep on paying and then the nation keep bleeding. So that is a decision which he has taken. The fear of removal of subsidy in the past, or the fact that there will be rising cost of living, which of course has now happened, and then there is also the fear of uprising or revolt nationally against the established order, which we have not seen much from in the last few weeks. So that is a bold decision which he has made. Secondly, the issue of our naira. It's unfortunate that as of this morning, I have read that naira is almost tallying to, $1 is tallying to 1,000 naira. But what led us to this position is under the Buhari administration, with MFLA being the CBN governor, we are not being realistic with ourselves. We read every month that hundreds of millions of dollars are being pumped in the name of defending the naira, which I believe that such money could be channeled to development, to infrastructure, to other areas of our needs, which of course is another bold decision that has been taken. And then for the fact that there are issues which people are raising as far as the country is concerned, but fundamentally I believe that Nigeria is gaining its ground back as a leader regionally and continentally. The speech which he made in the United Nations has raised the hopes of our country, and also gave the world a different image of leaders that can stand up for Africa. He talked about terrorism, the defense of our protection of our economy and resources in Africa. And that is how Nigerian leaders are supposed to speak. You don't simply speak as a president of Nigeria. Nigeria has been seen to be an African leader, and as such you should speak with that Pan-Africanist authority, which he has been able to do that. And then I have also seen promises of reforms and intervention in areas of infrastructure. Somewhere I read where the Minister of Works, Umahi, said he has inherited over 14 trillion debt as of infrastructure, and they have been able to, within the last 3 months, paid about 4 trillion to contractors, and that there are attempts to even cancel contracts that have lasted for over 2 decades. That's achievement. And in the areas of security, even though today we have woke up to the fact that terrorists attacked a university in Zamfara and kidnapped female students, but generally, if you look at it, the appointment of Ribadu as National Security Advisor has brought some hope. Some few months ago, there were threats that terrorists are about to attack a Kaduna-Abuja train line, which of course is something, it's a route which many of us use. But I was impressed to see that security measures were taken, and then confidence was restored on people who uses that train services. And then you can also see harmony within security agencies. The skepticism that some people had that for the first time we are having a National Security Advisor who is not a military personnel or retired military officer, now it's been reduced to the barest minimum, to the fact that we have seen that there is a proactive engagement by security agencies and serious coordination happening, which of course is a blessing to our country. And I've also seen an attempt, hands of friendship have been extended by many people to others who were aggrieved in terms of trying to find solutions to the problems of this country. That is the achievement. And the failures has to do, or the challenges or the failures has to do with the fact that There is still a lot of bitterness in the country as of regards to what has happened in the 2023 elections, and the fact that the removal of subsidy has caused untold hardships in the lives of people. Many people can afford even 1 square meal, if you can use that word. Many people can't pay the school fees of their children, and people are having difficulty to buy food and to live their lives. And I believe that the 5 billion that was sent to governors to share, there were governors that have done very well by reaching out to people and providing palliatives. There are many of them also who I actually don't know. You only hear about the palliatives. So in that respect, the president need to know that people are suffering and that the anger is gathering pace, and that all that has to be done must be done to address this problem before it generates into something different.